welcome back to Coach's Corner. This is, I kind of gave up on counting episodes, so bear with me. We'll say it's like 13 or 14. It's somewhere around there. But obviously, we want to give a shout out to Steiny's for having us again every Tuesday night here. So big shout out to John and his staff. Thanks for having us. Kenny, thanks for coming back this week. Well, we'll also give a shout out to some of our guys here. Some of the newer faces. Some of you may know, some of you may not. Marco Duronio.
What's up?
And Scott Bugarin.
How's it going?
So like we said, a couple of the newer guys on our team. Marco's been with us since November, just before we went to Boston, and Scott joined us over the break. He came from a team in, I think, Minnesota, right?
Yes, Minnesota.
Yes. Scotty's also from California, so big shout out to our home state.
Oh, yeah, baby.
There you go.
SoCal.
There you go. So we'll go over a few things here, and then we'll talk to Kenny about the weekend before we move forward. But, Ogden right now, 24-11-4, 52 points, good for second in the division, still 14th in the USPHL. Last weekend's games didn't quite go our way. Colorado, give a shout out to them. They're a good team. They're very well coached. Shootout loss and then consecutive regulation losses Saturday, Sunday. We also want to give a big shout out to our bus driver and Craig Finch, who came up big for us with a couple of things that happened with the bus and just making sure we get back and forth pretty safely. So thank you for what you do, Craig. Next week, it's either next week or 2 weeks, we're going to have our goalie coach, Steve Soto, join us. Not sure which players or what we're going to do. I'm thinking a little sports Jeopardy maybe. That could be kind of fun. But Kenny, we'll start with you. How are you doing? Get some rest?
Been better.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, how are you guys doing? Marco?
I'm doing good.
Attaboy. What were you drinking coming in here? Staying healthy?
Little electrolytes. A little new mood. Alpha Brain.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's just a sample, so
There you
I
go.
try it.
Scott, what's going on with the hair?
Just trying to figure out the curls. I don't know.
It looks cool with the bucket on.
Yeah, it does look cool.
There you go. Well, Kenny, we'll come back to you. Obviously, pretty grueling weekend that we had in Greeley. Things didn't quite go our way, but we said they're a pretty battle-tested team in the Eagles, and they're probably one of the hotter teams in the USPHL right now. They got 7 wins in a row. We came up just a little bit short, but are there any takeaways from the games that really helped shape this team heading into another matchup with the Eagles this Saturday?
It's just wake-up call that it's, like we've been preaching to the guys, that it's playoff hockey time. NOCO's playing playoff hockey, and for us it was a little bit of a wake-up call, especially Saturday and Sunday, but, just the consistency efforts and consistency IQ that we expect to display throughout the game needs to be there for all 60 minutes. We can't have lapses. Once you have lapses in a playoff game, the mistakes happen and it ends up in the back of your net. So for us, it was a tough weekend. We always have good battles with Northern Colorado. They're a great team. For us, I think that's what we walk away from that. We see that as a playoff series, right? And we see every game that we play them as a playoff series because it's so back and forth. So they're a great opponent, and it's always fun to get on the ice against them.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. Marco and Scotty, for you guys, you weren't with us the initial trip when we went to Colorado in September. And Kenny, I'm sure you can probably attest to this, but it seemed like 2 different teams a little bit. Same roster, but you could tell that there was an edge that they wanted, and I think they wanted to kind of remind our guys that they shouldn't be counted out, I should say, and that they're still a good team, and they really brought their A game. But you guys saw them about a week ago here at home. Was there anything different for you guys that you saw, or did they have just a little bit more jump this time, or was there anything else that stood out to you?
I think everyone on that team just works their bag off, really. I don't think they're the most skilled team at all. I think it's just a bunch of kids who just pay attention to details. And, every single one of them wins their battles. They all go hard to the puck, and, it's hard to play against. They're harder to compete against. But I feel like they just definitely have that extra gear from when we played them just a few weeks ago. They know it's time for playoff hockey, and that's what we're trying to find right now, too.
How about for you, Scott?
Like Marco said, they work really hard, and they play their system really well. And I think that going from our Olympic ice back to their home ice, they felt a little bit more comfortable, and maybe we weren't quite ready mentally off the jump for that. But give them props. But we'll have them next weekend and bring a better game mentally.
We certainly look forward to it, and it's not the last time we'll see Northern Colorado. And in fact, like we said, we get them this Saturday. One thing to note, and I know I mentioned this a little bit, how eerily similar some of these schedules are as far as the times, the dates. Well, in a pretty weird twist of fate, Northern Colorado and Ogden, they've essentially flipped roles a little bit from last year. We went into Northern Colorado in September. We lost 3 games. We walked away from it thinking, what are we going to do the rest of the year? We came back January, February. We're a totally different team and kind of caught Northern Colorado on their heels. Fast forward a year ahead, roles are reversed. The Eagles caught us this time, and it's just kind of part of what makes hockey so, I think, fun. And I think a lot of these guys, and these two especially, can attest to the fact that competitive hockey, there's nothing like it. So we certainly look forward to this Saturday. But, for Kenny, how do you combat that to kind of change the outcome, I guess, for the Mustangs this season, seeing how last year played out for either team?
It's about cleaning up our mistakes and making sure that the guys can move past a tough weekend as a group. This week's really important for us for a multitude of reasons, but collecting the points and being able to earn home ice to play in front of our fans is the number one goal on the forefront right now. So, having those guys ready to go, ready to work hard every single day, moving forward, and knowing the effort that needs to be put out for 60 minutes straight, not just when the guys feel like it. That's the mindset that we're trying to build here, and that's ultimately what's going to lead us to the success of beating a team like that, is consistent effort.
And do you guys think that, obviously playing at home, that there's a little bit more advantage in this matchup in particular? Like we saw Saturday, they had a pretty packed building, and not that it affected us so much. We went down, the team came back, it was a good response. But do you think, especially at home, that there's going to be a little bit more edge for the Mustangs this time around?
I always think it's fun playing in front of everybody. The energy in the building, the support. I think that's always huge. I think home ice advantage is always big for that. Less travel worries, and you just kind of show up to the rink and do your job, and you have support right there for you. It makes a lot of things easier, but at the end of the day, you still got to do your job on the ice. So,
yeah, I think playing at home, we're definitely a lot more comfortable, and the fans definitely weigh down on the opposing team every time we get a hit or get a puck deep or get a really good quality scoring chance. They're going crazy, so it's definitely has to be in the back of their minds the whole time.
And then we'll come back to you, Scotty, again. These next couple weeks, we played Pueblo 5 times. It tends to be a very physical, very high-spirited, heavy matchup. You haven't been part of it yet, but considering your type of game and what you're able to bring, is there anything that maybe fans can anticipate for those games for this weekend, or things that perhaps you want to bring to your game to give energy to the rest of the team?
Yeah, I just want to be first to the puck and win my battles and make sure that I'm not getting beat. I think winning those little battles on the boards or an open ice or taking good angles on the back check and picking up sticks. It's just the little details that all come together to form the bigger picture. But yeah, I think I just got to keep playing my game and play with speed and play with pace the whole time and make sure that my details are there. So yeah, definitely I think I'm going to try to be a lot sharper going into this weekend against Pueblo.
And Marco, for you as well, obviously you're familiar with Pueblo, playing them a couple times in their building. Anything that you anticipate that they might do different than maybe the Eagles in this case?
They're going to be playing hard too. They need points, and they got a good handful of kids that are pretty skilled on that team too, and they move the puck around pretty good to get a lot of shots. So I don't think anything different. I think as long as we just, all of the boys buy in and we do our jobs, there's no reason, we can't beat them and come out on this weekend on top in all 3 of the games. I think both those teams play similar. They're used to the smaller ice, so we can kind of take advantage of playing on the Olympic ice and just focus on what we need to do, I think.
Oh, it's certainly their tough matchups in our division. If you look right now with Northern Colorado on their winning streak, they're 23rd now in the USPHL. We're 14th. The Outliers are number 2. I think it's the only division that has that many teams so high up in the standings, outside of maybe the Southeast, and they're very much similar to the Mountain Division. So, Kenny, for you guys, I guess, behind the bench, what's the anticipation and what do you guys, I guess, try to have the team structured for this weekend? Like, what do you guys look forward to in those matchups?
Well, with Northern Colorado, it's a special teams battle for sure. I mean, our power plays first and their power plays second, and you compare that in this weekend, our power play didn't show up, and we lost all 3 games. So with those guys, like, taking advantage of chances you get 5-on-4, because 5-on-5 and 4-on-4, it's pretty even. We might have a little bit of an advantage there, but the real advantages come from those special teams moments when you're playing in those playoff type of games. So with Pueblo, like I think that with our team, when we're able to step up, when we talk about it in the locker room about pushing back and being the aggressor, and not waiting to take some of that lump before you wake up and say, okay, I got to answer the bell. Being able to put that on the forefront and do that first to a team like Pueblo that's a little bit more heavy and physical, it definitely puts teams like that on their heels when they're not getting to play their game right off the bat. So that's what I'm looking forward to with Pueblo, is the heavy physical side of it, and with NOCO is establishing our special teams.
And then another question for you, Kenny. What are some of the things that you and the rest of the coaching staff look forward to come playoff time? I know we got about a month left. Is there perhaps a chip on your shoulder from about a year ago? I know things didn't necessarily go your way. There was a lot of ever-changing landscapes that we faced, but are there certain things that you guys look forward to hope to have a different result?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's revenge on all the teams that took a win from us in round robin. Whoever we end up playing, it's getting out of the first series and fighting for a Mountain Division championship. That's what it's about, and it doesn't necessarily matter the opponent, but we need to prove to everyone that we're here to play, and that we're not just going to have a good regular season and then walk out the door and call it a day. It's really important for us, and it starts at the top and the preparation and giving these guys what they need to succeed, but then for those guys to go out and execute it.
And then coming back to Marco and Scotty, obviously 2 very veteran guys in the locker room. You've been around the game for quite a while. Marco, you're in your age-out year. Scotty, you got one more, but you've both been in the playoffs in the postseason. What are things that you guys look to bring to the locker room as far as giving that veteran presence and the right mindset going into playoffs?
I just try to be a leader as much as possible. The playoffs, it could be pretty nerve-wracking. This is what we worked for all season. For some of the younger guys, just try to be a role model. I've been to a lot of playoffs before, and I know what it takes to win. So just to be a role model and help the guys and encourage them and give everybody some confidence going in there.
I think for me, like Marco said, just trying to be a leader in the room and be vocal when I see that my teammates are kind of struggling or they're having a hard time or we mess up. It's all about the positivity and the confidence and the mind state, because ultimately the mind state is what's going to get us to that Mountain Division championship and then 2 nationals. It's all about day in and day out, how you're thinking the game, how you're trying to be better, and just how to move forward and deal with mistakes and keep evolving.
Now, part of that veteran leadership, is that also there are times where you guys recognize to keep things a little bit lighter, maybe throw in a joke here or there, like maybe break up some of that like tension? It's easy to get locked up and sort of the seriousness of it, but are there certain moments like that you maybe not look for, but that you see and you have to kind of step in and maybe just try to make sure everyone's head's kind of screwed on straight?
Yeah, it's hard to be, go all the time, so focused. There's times where you need to be a little bit laid back, but when we're in the rink, when we're in, ready for a game, everybody knows it's time to work. Between the periods, everybody's so focused. I think that's good, but, as long as we're not too loose, that's when problems start coming. But as long as everybody's, focused, you come in intermission, take a little sec, get refocused, you go back out, go to work. So there's a time and a place, but when we need to focus, we got to get focused. So
Yeah, just making sure that we're not gripping our sticks too tight, especially if you can see there's tension in the room. You might crack a joke here and there, but I think our team's pretty good with the focused most of the time and being ready to play, especially coming in into intermission and getting ready to go back out there and reset and reevaluate what we have to do. So, yeah, jokes are good here and there, but if we're too relaxed, it'll definitely show and we'll get caught on our heels. So, yeah.
Well, we certainly look forward to seeing what you guys are able to put together towards the end of this season, and it's coming up quick. We said it's the last month. There's 11 games left. We got 3 this weekend. Kenny, for you, and I guess you can answer for your staff, but how do you guys stay fresh kind of behind the bench and keep things moving forward towards, that ultimate goal?
It's tough. You get so engulfed in the game, and the guys know that we're so passionate about it. So sometimes it's hard to stay fresh. You just want to go, like Marco said, and sometimes you have to try to find a way to separate yourself from that. So, on our day off each week, you try to step away for a couple hours and get out of the rink. Do something different with your own time. That helps me down the stretch here. Be able to go back and focus with a fresh mind and instead of being so clouded with the constant focus on it, where maybe you're not able to step back for a second and look at everything as a whole entire landscape. So taking advantage of that day off in February is really important, not only for the players but for the staff as well, to kind of digest what's going on and where we need to fix things and where we've been good.
You guys look forward to playoffs?
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what we live for.
What's the biggest difference? Obviously, being the fact that it's elimination round. What's the biggest thing for you guys that you look forward to? Just the moment?
Yeah, just the moment, the energy. There's always an extra level of energy for some reason in playoffs. I think, that's just how it is. This is what we work for all season. This is it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody goes into playoffs with a clean slate, and everybody's got a chance to win and wants to be there. So it just heightens the tension, and you can't help but want to bring that energy because it's just a battle between you and another team, and they both just want it so bad. So I think it just will bring out the best in us.
Well, I certainly look forward to it. There's that level of playoff hockey where teams, they stress the importance of playing desperate, not to change your game, but to play with that kind of level of intensity every shift, because you never know when that might be the last, especially those games go deep into the end. And we saw ours first one go to a shootout, and teams battled the whole way. It felt like a playoff series against the Eagles the entire time. So we certainly look forward to it. Like we said, this weekend we have the Eagles for one game on Saturday. Then we play the Bulls Friday and Sunday. So it's a heavy weekend against the Colorado teams. They basically split with the Outliers, so we see 2 different versions of those. The Eagles this weekend, they come in 22-15, 1-0. Good for 3rd in the division, 23rd overall. NOCO now leads the season series 5-4. For the Bulls, they're 16-22, 0-2. 34 points, 4th in the Mountain Division, 41st overall. Ogden leads that series 3-2. So very 2 tightly played series. I don't think that's going to change for quite some time as long as we're in the same division. So we look forward to that. And we look forward to what's happening this weekend, which Friday, it's going to be Intermountain Healthcare Night. So they're basically one of the biggest sponsors that we have as a team, and helping these guys stay healthy, having the trainers at all of our games. So we thank them for everything that they do. Saturday is going to be 80s night. There's not too much else I got to say for the theme there. So for Bruce and I, we're going to be dressed like a few guys from the 80s. We look forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I guess at this time, if anybody has any questions, anything they want to ask, we can go ahead and open it up. Seth Jones is looking at me. I know he's got a question. We'll give a shout out to some of our guys here. Seth Jones, Dimitri Voyatsis. Dimmy, you got to go to the mic, though. Yeah, I think something.
Marco hates playing against me in practice.
Is that a question?
Is that a question or
what do you
statement?
think?
I wanted to say it. Marco hates playing against me in practice.
What he thinks.
So does Scooter.
So Demi said if you can't hear that, for all of our fans tuning in at home, give you a shout. But basically, Demi said Marco hates playing against him. Marco, any thoughts?
I don't know where that came from. He can't score on me, so.
Can't score on him. Ooh, tough. Scooter, you got anything?
That was a pretty good question, Demi. I don't know how to respond to that.
Dust. Well, with that, then we'll hold questions. Then. Oh, wait, hold on. Do you have a question? Oh, okay.
She's waiting.
I got excited. I
She'll
thought you
wait
had
till the
something.
end.
Well, we'll go to a little bit of a break. We'll let the players come around and introduce themselves, mingle for a bit, and we'll come back for the second part. It's a little bit longer, but just kind of the way it's broken up now. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll go to a break, and we'll be back in like maybe 10, 15 minutes. What's up, guys? All right, well, as we kind of come back here, hope you guys got to meet Scotty and Marco a little bit and chat with them. Good guys. They try hard, love the game, right?
That's right.
Marco loves hockey.
I love hockey.
That's an inside joke that you'll see on the docuseries when that episode comes out. But Marco definitely loves hockey, and he definitely loves getting the boys going with that comment. So it's pretty good stuff. Scotty, the boogeyman, Scooter.
Yes, sir.
What other nicknames you got?
Bugsy and Skid Mark.
That's tough.
Yeah,
we'll go with Bugsy, though. We'll keep that one. We'll cut out the last.
Yeah, that last one's a family one that I have to deal with every time I see my parents or my grandparents. It
comes from your grandparents.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not so bad then.
Yeah.
Marco? Polo?
Yeah, everybody calls me Polo.
Yeah. Got any other ones?
Everybody's been calling me Dorito lately.
Oh, that's true. Marco Dorito.
The Pueblo announcer called me Marco Dorito, so I got a little Cool Ranch, nacho cheese.
What? How about that? Cole's they calling you Cool Ranch?
Cool. That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
He's like, is this Cool Ranch?
Cool Ranch is a good name for Marco.
Pretty much the story. We were sitting there, and some of the players, they're hanging out afterwards with Colzig in the VIP room. Marco comes walking up with his dad. Were you holding skates then, too? Some fresh skates? Or was that later on?
No, later on.
That was later on. Okay, so comes walking up with his dad. Colzig's there, sees him right away, knows exactly who he is, and he goes, oh, this is Cool Ranch, isn't he? Based off the fact we call him Dorito. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool, for sure.
Pretty cool moment. Kenny, got any cool nicknames?
Sure, the guys have some nicknames for me that they would rather not say.
What about from Papa Orlando? KO Jr.?
Junior. Everyone at home calls me Junior. Nick probably has some pretty good nicknames. Maybe we can get him back on here, and he could tell you about his 30 different nicknames he has for me being under 6 foot tall.
That's rude because I'm also in that club, but Kenny gets all those jokes, so I don't know how I stay out of it, but I let you eat all that.
Yeah.
It's great for me.
Yeah.
I got no nicknames. I just talk too much. But anyways, we'll talk a little bit about our special guests here. So we'll start with Marco, 5'10", 170, goalie out of Rochester, Michigan. Marco, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Obviously, this is Marco's first season with the Mustangs. Likely his only until we change his birth certificate. You want to stick around another year?
You can get that deal done.
We can figure it out. I know a guy. But Marco comes to us. Last team he was with was the Amarillo Wranglers, the North American Hockey League. A very athletic and technical goaltender. He's got outstanding puck-moving skills. Look like a little Marty Brodeur out there sometimes. But, very, like we said, a veteran presence in the locker room and between the pipes. His work ethic showcases his skill set. He carries a professional pedigree in his game on the ice and in the locker room. And you kind of see that just the way you challenge some of the other goaltenders in some of those drills and, make sure you get the extra work in. But Marco this year, currently 6'5" 3.30 goals against average, 8.97 save percentage, 2 shutouts in 13 games played. He usually gets all the tougher games, so that's why those numbers are going to be the way they are. But Marco, again, welcome to Coach's Corner.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, how's everything been this year for you so far with Ogden since you were able to join?
It's been great. It's been a journey, an experience for sure. It's fun. All the boys are great. We got great coaches, great fans, great atmosphere. So just enjoying it.
No, we certainly enjoy having you too. Kenny, what can you say about Marco? A lot of long conversations with him, trying to convince him to come here, finally able to acquire him. Talk to us a little bit about Marco and getting a goaltender of his caliber.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting process. I mean, obviously he was going through injuries at the time. He was going through some different stuff at a higher level that may have, distracted him a little bit from finding a spot where he could find a home in a crease. I know he was kind of getting bounced around a little bit, fighting in and out, and we wanted someone else back there that we could trust and that we could invest our time into, just like Sava and Tarantino. And we were looking for a guy that was a little bit older and a guy that would fit the mold of being a leader and someone that these younger goalies in particular can look up to And that's exactly what we got with Marco. So, I mean, Stefan's right. Marco definitely sees the brunt of some of the tougher games that we play. But we expect a lot out of him coming from where he came from and having the experiences that he has as a player. I think that he's done a really good job coming in and stepping into a new team. That's hard to do for anyone at any age, at any time. So being able to do that and come in and continue to carry himself as a professional, I'm definitely impressed with his efforts thus far. And we want to keep pushing him to make him the best product that he can be before we move him on to college hockey. And I think there's a lot of character there in Marco. He's a character human being, and he's a guy that these players look up to. And it goes all the way back to day one when he shows up and he wants to have a meeting with the defensemen and with the forwards and with the team as a whole, just to get acclimated to the team and the structure and how we work. And that's a testament to who he is as a person. And we're thrilled to have gotten him here and work with him. And I want to keep challenging him every day to be the guy that we know he can be, and the guy that we've seen, especially early on when he first came here. He took on some really, really heavy, important games for us and showcased that he's the goalie that we think he is. So he's a great kid and definitely a talented goalie for sure.
And Scotty, I know you've only been here a couple weeks, but getting a guy like Marco behind you in the games, what's it like seeing him in practice and seeing that in the game for you as a player?
I think his intelligence is definitely the first thing that'll jump out to you. The way he directs pucks into corners, and when there might be a long change for their team and he gets the puck, he's calling plays and he's scanning the ice, and very rarely makes a bad play with the puck when he's trying to move it to our D or up to our forwards. And there are even times when he'll make like a stretch pass and we'll get a really good scoring opportunity out of it. So I think his intelligence speaks for itself, and so does his work ethic. They pair very well together.
Yeah, like I said, very good puck-moving goalie. You got any tips for us? You can teach me how to play goalie sometime?
A lot of practice.
A lot of practice.
Just get in front of the puck. Always try.
There you go.
One more thing that I like about Marco is that he has that desire in practice to continue working, whether he's in the net in our drill or if he's at the other end working with Coach Steve or whoever. He's willing to challenge himself and challenge the other goalies on the ice. And that's something hard to find in a goalie. So seeing that in him, that's not only going to help him get better and excel to the next level, which we're excited about, but it's going to help our younger guys as well. So having that structure and that leadership ability is something that we're definitely happy and proud of Marco bringing to the table.
It certainly makes an already talented goaltending room even more dynamic, and it's been awesome to see. Like we said, you got tough assignments right out of the gate. I don't want to spoil that too much because I have it written later on here, so we'll talk a bit more about it, about your time joining us and then going to Boston. So, but gentleman to your left, the boogeyman.
Yes, sir.
Bugsy. Scott Bugarin, 6'185", forward out of Moreno Valley, California. Scott's first season with the Mustangs. Could potentially be his first of two. He's an 02 birth year. Scott, welcome to Coach's Corner.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's always a pleasure. Well, Scott comes to us from Thief River Falls Norskies, the SIJHL. You have any idea what a Norski is?
They're all not Nordic, but like Scandinavian up there. So there are a lot of Viking-esque teams. I think that's what a Norski is a Viking.
Very cool. I didn't know that. Kenny, did you know that? Learn
Not
something
many
every day.
people know.
I had no idea. I mean, the name itself was long. I was like, geez, this is a mouthful. I'm sure I'm going to mess it up somehow. But, Scott, like we said, he's the most recent addition to the Mustangs this year. He joined us right after the break that we had. He's a very fast, physical forward, very tenacious in all three zones, helps tilt the ice towards the Mustangs' favor. Two-way player. It's crucial to the success of the team. And, brings a committed effort every game. So, Scotty right now only has one goal. It was a game winner against Ontario. Only has 7 games played, so could see a lot more of it. Scotty, again, welcome to Coach's Corner.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Kenny, you want to talk to us a little bit about Scotty and how we end up acquiring him and what he brings to the table for the Mustangs?
Yeah, unique situation for Scott as well. He's playing hockey in Canada, and with some of the hesitations going on, just not knowing what the rest of the season looks like with COVID up in Ontario, because they're the first ones to pull a chute when things get bad with some germs spreading around and everything. They were definitely putting some doubt in the players' minds that the season would continue anymore. And for us, being able to get a hold of him, and he had a couple of his, or he had at least one previous teammate from Anaheim on our team, Corey Mater, and a couple other kids that he knew were interested in our program as well at the time over Christmas when him and I finally first spoke. Situation ended up working out where we were able to get him out and see what that looked like in January, and put him to the test quick. And we like what we saw. We liked the number one thing we like the best is that he gives you a 100% effort every single time he touches the ice. He plays a hard and heavy game, like Stefan said, and the two-way style is what we're looking for in our group. We want every player to be able to compete in all three zones and not just be one-dimensional. So for him, obviously we saw him last year when he was on Anaheim, but more recently getting to see and work with his game a little bit and try to push him in areas to better himself as a player, a more complete player. I think there's a lot of promise there for Scott and him coming in, and he's done a good job to this point, earning a spot with the group and continuing to work, and that success is going to come for him. He just needs to keep his nose to the grindstone and not doubt his abilities, because he's definitely a very good hockey player. So I'm happy to get to work with him. The kid works for everything he gets, and everything that he has here, he earns it. So we want to challenge him the rest of the year and push him to that next level we see he can be at.
No, it was certainly exciting coming back. It's always, I think, a little thrilling when you're going to get potentially a new player. And we found out about Scott, like you said, and first couple practices we saw him, and he was skating, seemed a little bit faster, a little bit harder than everybody else, and maybe there's a little bit of adrenaline in you, but certainly stood out to us in practice. Marco, I don't know about for you. What did you think? When you first saw Scott and kind of what he was bringing on the ice during those times.
Right away, I could tell that he was, very hard worker, and I saw him just walking into the rink warming up. I was like, this is good. I was excited for that. Just take care of himself, and first day came to work. He's got a good shot, good vision, and I think he's going to be a good role model for especially these younger kids, and I think it's going to start showing here too.
So, Scott, coming back to you, tell us a little bit about yourself. Coming to Ogden, it's only been a couple weeks, but how have things been for you so far?
Things have been pretty good so far. It's definitely been an adjustment, mentally. As hockey players, I'm sure Marco can attest to this when he came from Amarillo, but moving places isn't always the easiest thing, especially when you get comfortable where you're at. But ultimately, I knew it was going to be the best decision for my playing career to continue here, where I know I'll play games, and I know the tempo will be high, and there's a good opportunity here. Like Coach Kenny said, I just got to keep my nose to the grindstone and keep getting better every day, and it'll work out good. But so far, it's just been awesome. It's just an awesome organization, and everything top to bottom is ran so well. I'm very fortunate to be able to put the sweater on and go out every game and play for not only the team but the fans and the community that might not necessarily look up to us, but they definitely hold us in high regard.
And then, Marco, for you, obviously you came to us right before we left to go back east to Boston. How have things been for you, and the last couple of months being in Ogden?
That was good. I came, I think 5 days before our first big trip, and it was a lot right at first, but the experience was awesome. And these last couple of months, just like I said, trying to be a leader and helping some of these, especially the goalies, helping the younger goalies, and working hard every day, developing my game and helping them in their future, because they're going to be the future of this organization. So just working hard and having fun and enjoying this. And we got, like Scott said, we got a great organization, great rink. It's fun to show up every single day, great group of guys. So just enjoying it.
And, you joined right before we went to Boston. Boston was a very important week to all of us. Like we said, it was a prove it week. We wanted to show that we belonged, and we did that. Well, your first game was against the Blue Ox, which is one of the highly regarded teams in our league. And can you kind of run that game back and what you did, and kind of like what Scott said and Kenny said, that you're calling things out on the ice. You're doing things that normally we haven't seen, and it's certainly no knock on Tino or Sava. It's just a different style of goaltending that they have. But for you to be able to kind of have that commanding presence, we saw that right away in Minnesota. And I think there was a moment you skated by towards the benches. It was either to make sure we had the right shot count or right saves or something. But Marco brought an edge to the goaltending that we hadn't seen before. So you want to tell us a little bit about that week for you?
Yeah, that weekend was actually the first game I played in a month and a half, coming off a little ankle injury. I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest, and I didn't, I know that I worked my butt off to get back to being healthy, and I had this opportunity to play in front of these guys, and I just simply trusted my game and just try to do what I do best, and just focus on the details. Yeah, you mentioned going up asking about the shots. I'm always counting my own shots, so I know. But yeah, just trying to go out there and just play the best I can and try to show these guys, what I can bring, what I can be, and try to help these guys out.
Kenny, do you remember the first game that you got Marco in there, and the expectation, and then obviously you got the result pretty much that you wanted? Mm-hmm. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
It was refreshing to see. Obviously, that was the second game of our Boston trip, so we had one win under our belt. It was a little bit of a sloppy win, but getting him in there, I feel like it calmed the game down a little bit. And, that was it's a top 5 team in the country, and no one was even remotely nervous. We felt like we were in the driver's seat the entire time. Just being able to go out there and see the comfort of the guys and go out and execute and work their bag off the entire game and trust the crease. That was awesome. And he continued to do that for 2 games straight, and he's done that a lot of the time that he's been here. So.
And then Scotty, coming to you, your first game, Northern Colorado, was here at home. Marco's in net. What was that game like for you? Being able to come out through the tunnel and kind of see everybody. Have you seen that many fans in a while, even without COVID?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I had no idea what was going on when I first we got ready and we were gonna go out for warm-ups, and just there was already this atmosphere and this feeling to the rink, and it was awesome going through the tunnel and just hearing the crowd the whole game relentlessly just cheering. It was definitely different, and I definitely gonna feel kind of spoiled. Not a lot of kids that play junior hockey, especially in our league, get the fan support that we do. So we're very fortunate here, but it was surreal for sure.
Well, I definitely wrote you down before the game that you were going to score a goal, and you got incredibly close. You got robbed, unfortunately, but do you remember much of that moment, or just being able to get the chances like that?
I'm coming back for that goalie. That's all I got to say about that.
Saturday.
I could have elevated the puck a couple more inches, and it would have been a good goal. But no, I got his name, and I'll get it.
Keep that one in the memory bank.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll never leave until I get my revenge for that.
Hey, we like it. We like it. And then Scott, for you again, last season you went from the East Coast back to home to California. You were with the Avalanche. Do you remember the game that you played against Ogden last year?
Oh yeah.
Because I went back and watched the tape.
Yeah, I remember watching it because one of your beloved players, Artur, I don't know his last name, but he gave me a decent shot, and I took offense to it and gave him a shot from behind, and apparently he must have slipped all the discs in his back and was in writhing pain, and I got a 5 in a game for it, and got to watch you guys take us 12-0 to the hoop. So that was fun time in Utah in the elevation, second game here. But no, like I knew coming in that you guys were a really tough team, like a very well-established organization here, especially through the years in the Dub S. Like it was like almost like a I don't know what the word would be for it, but like a local legend. Like you always hear about, you know, how well the Ogden Mustangs would do in the WSHL, especially me growing up around the Ontario Avalanche at the time in the Dub S. But no, I knew you guys were going to be flying. It's just I didn't expect to be gone so soon.
No, it's certainly tough. So it was almost about a year ago exactly, but we had played in the little showcase series down in Provo last year, and you know, Scott, unfortunately, it was his first game against us. It was the only game that we played where he was with the Avalanche, but got a major, ejected from the game. He was back the next day, but we didn't get to see Scott too much, so that was a tough loss for Anaheim. And then same game, Tate Jensen is the one. That's when he scored his goal of the year. So that was a pretty fun moment for us.
Oh, really?
It was wild.
Good for Jenny then.
There you go.
Good for him.
Well, Marco, coming back to you, you know, we've noted the goaltending for Ogden this year is perhaps the deepest it's ever been, considering the level of talent that's in net between Tino, Sava, yourself. As I try to find my place here, you know, did it help push your game and the other goalies knowing the competition in net every night?
Yeah, it always is. You want to, you know, I'll battle them in practice, I'll play them in games. Well, along with that, just help each other as well, too, and learn from each other. I think Tino and Sava are awesome goalies, incredible goalies with a lot of potential. And it's fun, you know, in drills where, you know, 3-on-3 drills, trying to beat them, winning in a shootout, just competing against them. And because they're great goalies, too, and learning from them and try to improve my game looking at them, too.
Well, it's especially encouraging knowing the pedigree and the background that you have in hockey and some of the teams that you've been part of, especially considering that some of those guys that you'll probably mention, they're going to be probably on the screen in the next like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But you also bring a very humble presence too. You know you want to fight and compete for that. You want the net, and you voice that, but you're willing to work for it. So, you know, can you tell us about, you know, the kind of caliber of players you've been fortunate to play with, and how that experience has helped you become the player that you are now?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to play on a lot of great teams and with a lot of great players. A lot of, you know, playing Division I right now, playing pro over in Europe, playing in the NHL. You'll see on TV in a second here. I had a great opportunity to skate with a national development program, Team USA, and a lot of my buddies are playing on that team, and got to back up for a game, which was an awesome experience with them. And I mean, those guys, Zegras, Caulfield, Hughes, all those guys in the NHL right now, Spencer Knight. So it's amazing learning from them, you know, seeing what they do every single day, the discipline that they have, the details that they have. I've always been, you know, pretty focused and pretty disciplined myself, but I'm always willing to learn, always. So picking up on some of those guys who are at the top level, you know, some of the superstars of the hockey game right now, there's always something to learn from those guys. So I'm just trying to take anything I can get from anybody.
And then leading back to Scotty, you know, seeing that some of the other players that even Marco's played with, and we have other players who've played with top tier talent as well. Does that give you more motivation night in and night out to work as hard as you can to try to get to that level and put in everything you have while you can?
Yeah. This summer I was fortunate enough to skate with John Blum a few times. He's on the Olympic team now, and he taught me a lot as a kid that, you know, I came from a poor family, so I didn't really play super high levels of hockey growing up, and it really opened my eyes to it this summer and how much really goes into it and how much work I do have to put into it. And a lot of it I found is just mental. It's just habits and making sure you're showing up and doing the right things. And, you know, the days that you let up are the days that, you know, eventually accumulate and are what sink you. So, yeah, I think it's an awesome opportunity here to get to prove that I can compete with guys like that and try to get to that level for sure.
Have there been any adjustments you've needed to make it as far as your playing style since coming to Ogden? I think obviously one of the easy ones is the elevation, a little bit different, a little bit tougher to skate and catch your breath from time to time. But anything in particular that stands out for you?
Yeah, my perception of the ice was definitely thrown off a little bit with the Olympic ice. I'm definitely more used to it now, but the league that I was playing in, a lot of the, at least the away barns that we'd play in were not exactly regulation size, where it'd be like 200 by like 75, or it'd be a little shorter, or whatever the case may be. It'd just be like an awkward sized rink, and the game was just a little bit different than the playing style here. But the Olympic ice is definitely a big part, and then like you said, the altitude. But I feel a lot more comfortable in the altitude now, and it's just a matter of me like having a routine to work out every day and make sure that I can show up to practice and feel good.
I'm going to come to you in a second, Marco, but I just thought of a question for Kenny. What's that like now coaching basically full-time on the Olympic sheet? How do you get guys who may be accustomed to an NHL-sized rink to play with a little bit more space, and then having to kind of flip-flop every other week depending on who you're playing or where you're playing?
Yeah, it can be frustrating, to be honest with you. When you're playing Utah games, you're playing Olympic, and when you're playing Colorado games, you're playing NHL. So systematically, there's definitely stuff that I wanted to do that maybe might not work as well on a bigger sheet. So it's stuff that you need to kind of calculate out and plan out from the beginning of the season on how you want your team to operate. But on a week-to-week basis, now that we're kind of set in stone on how we operate and how we run and the X's and O's sides of things, just getting the guys used to those, the different steps that they may need to take in a game in an Olympic sheet compared to NHL sheet. So when we go to Pueblo or NOCO on a weekend, before we go there, our last practice of the week is on the NHL sheet, not on our normal Olympic sheet, just to get the guys a little bit more accustomed to it, for them to feel the reps, and how the distances change, just that much of a fraction difference of where you need to be, where your stick needs to be, how the puck's moving up the ice. So those things are definitely adjustment as a coach, but more importantly as a player too, they need to feel that every single week and know what's coming, not just be surprised by something. So it definitely poses a challenge for us out here, not having 5 teams that are Olympic or 5 teams that are NHL, but being able to go back and forth. I think it shows the elasticity of our coaching style and how we can adjust to things each and every week.
Marco, to follow up on that, what's that like for you as a goalie? I guess going back and forth and making sure you have the right angles and whatnot.
Yeah, I think honestly it's difficult. It's difficult going from an Olympic size to a NHL size back and forth. As a goalie, you want to be on your angles. You see the ice. We have marks on our ice. At least I know I do, of where you're at, where your positioning is. And on an Olympic ice, it's a little bit different. Things don't happen quite as fast. There's more area for the players to cover. So it's definitely difficult at first. When you go your first game and either going back and forth. So yeah, it's something that even today, like in practice, I'm always kind of, checking little things, and you have to really simplify because even though the ice is bigger, creases in the net are the same size, so you got to remember not to move as much. You can get caught, and I think when I first got here, there was a couple instances where I was moving maybe a little bit too much, and so just simplify and just really focus and make sure I'm on my angles and not overdo anything.
Well, speaking of the rink, what was your first impression? First home game you were able to kind of play in and kind of take everything in.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I think the rink is awesome, especially with that backdrop. I don't remember if it was a day or a night game with my first game, but I remember tons of fans. The little intros was awesome. It was fun, good energy. It gets loud in there too, so it's fun. There's like a little buzz in there. So
Like we said, Marco's one of those few players that's played at a very exceptional level. Same with Scotty playing the SIJ. But, what differences do you see maybe from some of the North American League teams versus maybe a team like Ogden here, as far as maybe like just the facility overall? What's it like for you?
A little bit different everywhere. I think we're pretty lucky with what we have. We definitely have best facility that I've seen in this league for sure. You can see that some other teams aren't as fortunate as us. So I think we're pretty lucky for where we play. And within everything else, I think there's little details that are different from every single league. But I feel as this team in this league, we can compete with anybody. I think we can beat anybody. So, when I first came here, I realized that. And so we just got to prove that now.
And Scott, I think you and I can both be in agreement, Dimmy as well, that some rinks in California aren't that spectacular.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
majority.
Shout out to KHS Ice Arena and Lakewood Ice.
That would be Anaheim and Long Beach. Those are some good throwbacks. But
Panorama City's pretty bad. Some of those rinks are pretty bad. I agree. Yeah. Ontario, yeah. Ontario's all right.
Pretty fun for you then, being able to
Yeah.
kind of play at a place like here.
Yeah, no. Earlier in the year, the rink that I played at before was a pretty sweet arena, but it was just never filled. It was always just kind of empty. And coming here and just having all the fans on one side of the ice and just have them feel like they're on top of you is really fun. And then our locker room and our facilities are all like very very close, so everything's very accessible. And it's like I said, it's just a class act. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Like we said, it's very fortunate that we're able to do this. And I don't know, the biggest thing for me is being able to play with some of those Olympic rings and some of the history there, and I hope that never changes. I don't think it will, but I think it's pretty special for sure. So coming back to Marco, goalies are kind of interesting, aren't they?
That's what I'm told.
Pretty unique bunch for sure. They're kind of like pitchers in baseball. Once you start, you don't really mess with them. Don't really talk to them too much unless you're the coach. And that just depends on the game too. If you think he's just doing things right or things are going that way, you just don't really mess with it. But, I guess most goalies, they don't want to mess up their routine, or they don't want it messed with by anybody else. Is there anything that you do or have picked up over the years that you kind of implemented in your game?
Like a pregame routine?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Nothing too crazy, really. I just try to get my body warmed up. I have like three things: my body warmed up, my mind warmed up, and my eyes. Obviously vital for being a goalie. So, no, nothing. I'm not superstitious or anything. So there's nothing really that I have to do. I just try to get my body going. Think about the game. Think about what's going on, what I can do to help. About the other team, how their power play is. I like to take those details in and then do a little hand-eye coordination and just make sure that I'm feeling good going in.
And Scott, for you, any sort of superstitions, anything like that?
No, honestly, if I could have it my way, I could just, throw on the gear whenever I wanted and like play. That's the way I want to be, just to be able to just flip that switch and be able to go. Obviously, that isn't always the case, but no real superstitions. I don't even make sure that I put my left hip shin pad and then my right shin pad. It's just whatever I'm feeling that day. And the main thing for me is just when I hit that ice, where's my head at? So that's just the main thing for me. Just get your stuff on and go and get going.
Oh, that's good. So I always like to give a shout out to some of the players, but I've given a shout out to Seth Jones probably every time we've come up here. One of the more superstitious guys, I think, according to his teammates. But, he carries that load for the rest of us, so you don't have to do anything. Seth, he's got us. No problem. But, Scotty, you're an 02 birth year. What are some of the goals that you have for yourself? Do you potentially see yourself again here next year, or potentially moving up to maybe Tier 2 if that opportunity opens up?
Yeah, I got to kind of see the landscape of Canadian Tier 2 when I played in the SI, and there are differences, mainly playing-wise between here and there, and then like places like Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and I think I'd honestly rather see myself here for a final season than being a bigger part of this team and really leading. Like my goals, at least for this last run, is to everybody says they want to like push deep in playoffs, but I want something that I can remember and like tell my kids about later. Like, yeah, I came into this group and we found our mojo at the right time, and we ended up going on a run and capturing a national championship, and that's something obviously we'd all want to say, but that's the goal. If I'm here now, if I'm here next year, it's always the same thing. Like the other stuff is just intangible. It's just really like making something that you can remember forever.
No, definitely. I want to reaffirm that is that not only do we want to win a national championship, but to hold that memory, it's something you'll never forget. It's a very special thing, and I think it's what we all want to strive for. So,
yeah. Sorry, I neglected to mention. Obviously, like Marco here's like this is his last year, and like he wants to go to college. I think that's the goal for everybody that's on our team. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I kind of got carried away
you're
talking
good.
about the
People want to hear you,
the
not me.
runs.
No, you're good. And obviously, speaking of Marco, you've been one of the guys we said who's been at the higher tier level, and you've also been one of the cornerstone pieces for some of the coaches to fall back on you as an example. What does that mean for you to be considered one of the leaders of the Mustangs so quickly?
It's privilege for sure. Luckily, like I said, I've been to those higher levels. I've played with those higher, some of those superstars. My goal was to come here and not only move myself on, but really one of the reasons I mainly chose here is to just help this team, this organization, these younger especially goalies, develop. There's a lot of potential there. So for me to come in and just share what I know, and hopefully some of these guys don't mind some of my comments and what I try to preach. That's just something that how I am and how I want to help those others, and it's definitely a privilege, definitely an honor, and I hope at least I'm doing an all right job with that.
I don't think you have too much to worry about, neither one of you guys, but we said it's been a short time since you both have been here. Any favorite moments that stand out for either one of you? We'll start with you, Marco. You've been here a little bit longer.
My favorite moment was my first shutout in Pueblo. Got a shutout, an assist, and a penalty in one game, so that was a first. So probably would have fought too if I could, but not allowed.
Probably scoring against the Rain. It's been a little bit of a slow start for me, and trying to find my game and getting to feel like I want to there, and just having all the boys, like everybody was just so happy for me, and that was honestly like the best part. Like I could have cared less about it, the goal itself. It was just like just to see everybody so genuinely like psyched was really comforting. Like that the guys are here for you, and yeah, I honestly loved that. Just being a part of that was cool, and then coming out of the tunnel for the first time was pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, well, we got a pretty good picture of that first goal you have. So
Yeah.
I think we posted that. If not, I'll go ahead and send it to you. That way you can keep that.
Yeah, maybe should have kept my mouth closed.
There you go. Well, how about any favorite hobbies or things you like to do away from the rink, or maybe to get away from the game just a little bit?
Video games are always fun. I read a lot of books too. I always like on an off day, like I'll go try to do something. My dad was here last weekend. We went up to the Snow Basin Resort too. So just kind of exploring and going for hikes or something in the summer. It's bike riding, hiking, fishing. So all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat as Marco. I like being outside. I'm not much of a fisherman. Like, yeah, I don't want to sit there and watch the water, but I like to go on walks, especially out here. Like, I never really went on walks before, but it's beautiful out here. The mountains are awesome, and love to go on walks. I'll read occasionally to get my mind off of things, but honestly, the walks consume a lot of my time. Like, it helps me feel grounded when I'm out here and just getting my bearings because I haven't really been here too long. It's the easiest way for me to feel acclimated to my surroundings and the breathing too. Like, I was trying to get used to my breathing and the altitude. So jogging and running and just walking around the trails was fun for me.
And they have In-N-Out here still. That's a big dub for us.
That's a huge W. The food out here is a huge W.
Food here is a big W. Well, how about this? Here's a question I actually wrote down last week, and I meant to ask, and I didn't. But Marcos read it earlier, told me he liked it. So is there any moment that you couldn't necessarily change but relive again, maybe from this season, or we'll say maybe overall in hockey?
You couldn't change?
Couldn't change the outcome, but you could just relive that same moment again, get the same feelings that you had.
That last game before Christmas break was the best feeling that I've had here for sure.
Pueblo?
Pueblo kind of was going through a little bit of a slump, I would say for sure, and just to get one good win. I mean, that was a great all-team effort, and that just felt awesome. Wouldn't change that one bit.
I think we may have had Nick talk a little bit about that particular night. Kenny, you want to shed some light on that particular game? It obviously was a special night for you and the coaching staff as well, fastest to 50. And pretty much anything that could have been bad that happened did happen, and we somehow still walked away with a win.
Yeah, that was that was a hard 40 minutes for us in the beginning of that game. And as you guys can see, clearly our team has the Sunday scaries this year, where basically sometimes looks like they forget how to play on Sundays. So going through first 40 minutes of that game, it looked like it was going to be another one of those types of games. And for our guys and our staff, all coming together in the room after two periods and basically just explaining to the guys that they're not out of that game regardless of what the score is or how bad a couple things have went throughout the weekend. And props to them that they came out in the third period and stuck together, and all that was two shots, which we ended up getting done pretty quick. And Daniel Falzer, that was the win, right? So that was a couple minutes left in the game. It was a really good play that Dan made, but it was a five-man effort moving up the ice together. That feeling walking away 3-2 after being down 2-0 and accomplishing all that in one period, it shows you the bounce back that our team can have. Not that we always have, but that we can have. So we're trying to get to that point where we know and trust that that's there all the time. And more importantly, not put ourselves in those positions every single night. So, but looking at that game and that accomplishment as a whole it's not an accomplishment for me, it's an accomplishment for the group. Nick and Steve have done a great job supporting us throughout the last year and a half, and to be able to share that moment with them, that was really special. And going into break, I think our team needed that because we were extremely beat up, and to see the guys bounce back and bury those 3 goals in one period and walk away with our group, the returning player, all the returning players, our 50th win as a group together, that was really something special. And Marco really bailed us out a couple times, 2 times in particular in the last 10 seconds? The last 10 seconds or so, maybe 15. He really saved us there. So that was a really exciting game. It's something fun to be a part of. I'll never forget.
Did you count your saves that game? I know what the stat sheet says, but I want to know if yours was the same as mine.
I don't remember. I think it was like 33 or something.
Woo! We'll keep the ones that we had. It said 40.
Oh,
Looks pretty good.
All right, I'll take that.
I mean, regardless, it was still a phenomenal performance, and you really kept us in that game. So it was something I would love to relive again, not as the broadcaster because that was tough for the first 2 periods, but you guys, you showed that relentlessness. So that battled adversity well. So we're very proud of you guys. But
For sure.
Scotty, for you, I know it's only been a couple games, but any particular moments you'd want to relive again, or like you said, we can go outside of the Mustangs.
I've had I love playing roller hockey during the summers, and that's a lot of the hockey that I got to play when I was younger. So a lot of like my memories are very intertwined with that. Like growing up, there was an Air Force base, March Air Force Base. You remember that outdoor roller rink they had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'd go out there, $2, skate for as long as you wanted, and as a little kid, that was just like awesome to me. And I didn't really get to play with other kids, but like I just remember like those nights so vividly, and like not many kids remember like stuff like that when you're like 5, 6, 7, 8. So that stuff definitely still sits with me, and like it makes me smile just thinking about it. And it ended up getting turf put over it for some soccer because it's in higher demand in California. But yeah, that stuff will never leave me for sure. And if I could relive it and just enjoy it more as a kid, and understand what it meant for me like as a 19-year-old now, like yeah, no, for sure. But I have a feeling that one of those moments that I want to relive will definitely be coming down the line for our team. We'll be doing something special soon, I'm sure.
That's right. Manifest that. Speak it into existence. Well, we're kind of nearing the end of some of the more serious stuff, or I guess getting the in depth with both Scott and Marco, and obviously you can tell two guys who very much care about the game, and they love it, and you see their passion of it. So, I guess before I go into some of the other funny questions, any questions you guys might have? Anybody? Seth's not making eye contact with me. Oh, he's going. Let's go.
I had a question for Scott. I was wondering why your nickname is Scooter.
When I played House League in Riverside, California, me and my friend, we were neighbors, and we played together on the same team. His name was Edward, and they named him the Rocket because he was fast, and I was also just as fast as him. I got a little jealous, so like, oh, Scotty, Scooter's fast. Scooters are fast, so made me feel good about myself. But it just stuck. Like Demi probably met me and was like, "Oh yeah, this is Scooter," because our old coaches just called me that all the time. But yeah, no, it's funny.
Thank you.
Of course, Seth, anytime.
Can you teach Demi how to skate fast?
Demi's
What?
pretty fast.
He's not that fast. Hey, we got time. We'll work on it. Well, no other questions, I'm assuming?
There's a question back there. Somebody being shy. What my favorite Disney princess is. So, Cinderella. Cinderella story.
That's
baby.
your favorite?
Yeah.
There you go. They just came out with a remake, didn't they? A couple years ago?
Maybe.
I think it was pretty good. I'm assuming it was. We're going to say yes. But, okay, so we'll kind of go. Do you have a favorite Disney princess?
All our Ogden Mustang boys when they play bad. Yeah. Disney princesses. Yeah.
Well, how about this? We'll start with Scott. What's your favorite, not pregame routine, but pregame meal?
To be perfectly honest with you, I can't eat anything too heavy before games, or it just ruins me. So like a good, water flush, Gatorade, and like a protein bar, or something that's just satiating, that can be in my stomach, and just so I don't feel hungry. Because once I get going, it's like I'm not even thinking about my hunger. Like
Don't want to
whatever.
slow down.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Marco?
I've always been like a chicken parm guy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anything else? Just chicken parm?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Simple. How about this? Favorite playoff tradition? Do you do anything particular? I know haircuts are pretty popular. We've been talking about that lately. Scooter's like, please don't cut my hair.
I don't know, like dye my hair, dye my mustache, shave my whole head. I don't care. Let's get something going. I just get the boys rowdy.
I just bumped Little John.
There you go. Easy. Okay, how about this one? Super Bowl's coming up. I know football is not our main sport here, but Bengals or Rams, who you got?
Got my boy Joe Burr.
Yeah, I gotta say Bengals too. I'm from Detroit, so I'd love to see Stafford get one because he deserves it for being 13 years of torture. But I gotta go with Bengals.
Kenny, got anything? You've
Yep.
been a big football guy lately.
Just the playoffs.
Crazy.
Yeah, Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going for the Bengals too. I don't want to see the Rams win, not for a chance. How about this? Favorite movie?
The Big Lebowski.
Cars. Disney Cars. 1, 2, and 3.
So someone said it was funny considering I'm from Southern California. Who was that? See, I'm a big Pittsburgh guy. Born and bred. But the Rams, it's just tough. It's tough for me. Kenny, we asked you your favorite movie, right? It was the Guru, Love Guru. I know, I remember. I just love bringing it up every time. It's funny for me. How about this, guys? Start with you, Marco. Favorite? Do you have a dream job if it wasn't playing hockey?
Yeah, Formula One race car driver. 100%.
Oh.
Still want to do that right now.
Well, you still got time.
Maybe.
Lewis Hamilton.
I mean, maybe with minus the brain damage, but being a UFC fighter and like being a champion would be insane. Like the feeling of like that ego would be probably crazy, and the work that goes into it, like I can't even imagine. Like I can take hits in hockey with the helmet on, maybe block some shots, get some cuts on my face, but just getting relentlessly beat up by somebody for millions of dollars seems like it would be pretty lucrative option.
So still be an athlete. Can't take that out of you.
Yeah,
I like it. How about who's your favorite NHL player, Marco?
Ray Price.
And team?
I gotta say Detroit right now. Detroit Red Wings.
We said this earlier. They're on the up and up.
Yeah, that's right.
They're coming around. Scott?
I've never really had like a favorite player, but like right now I really like Tyler Bertuzzi and I like Jonathan Huberdeau and like Barkov. Like those are guys that like they score a lot of goals and they don't get a lot of recognition, but they play the right way. And like Bertuzzi's so mean, I love it.
Yeah. What about a favorite team, Scott?
I'm a Ducks guy, but they really sucked until this year. They honestly surprised me. Like Zegras has been doing really good. Troy Terry is a superstar, at least for right now. So, you know, I'll stick with them for now. But once they go bad again, don't blame me if I go on the bandwagon.
We won't hold it against you.
Thank you.
Kenny, we'll go with you on this one. How about if you had to choose breakfast or dinner?
Dinner, 100%.
All the time?
Yeah, every time.
Marco?
Dinner.
French toast and waffles? Like, are you kidding me?
Big-
Give me some breakfast.
Big breakfast guy.
Chocolate milk with some waffles? Easy.
How about beach or mountains?
Might not like this answer, but beach. I love the mountains though, but I'm more of a beach guy.
Okay.
Definitely beach. Love the beach. Roller skating on the boardwalk is so much fun. Can't beat it.
Kenny?
Beach.
I knew what answer I was going to get when I asked that. I'm a beach guy. Here's a really good one. I'm excited for this. We'll start with Scott. Would you rather wear jorts or a turtleneck every day for a whole year?
You're a turtle.
Jorts. Those are jean shorts, by the way.
Okay. Definitely the jorts, because I want people to see like my legs if I'm working hard on them, like we do. Like you got to show off the legs, get the pockets going out of the jorts too, get them dangling. But turtleneck's not bad either. You can look pretty swole in a turtleneck. I think you could rock a turtleneck, Steph. Look like The Rock.
I'm wearing a turtleneck?
No, yeah, like you could rock one for sure.
Oh, I'll rock it. I won't look like The Rock, though. Well, about a foot short on that. Marco?
I'm not sure if I can pull off turtlenecks, but I gotta go short or the jorts because sun's out, thighs out in the summer for me. So
Kenny? I can't wait.
Okay, so jorts look bad for 12 months out of the year. Turtlenecks look bad for 10 months out of the year, so I'm going to take a turtleneck.
Big turtleneck. I probably got to go turtleneck, too. I don't know if I could be caught dead in jorts. Just not my style, unfortunately. They don't look good with Vans, I think, so I'm going to have to pass. What's on your pregame mix? Kind of music you
I
got?
have a lot of stuff like I love like old like Led Zeppelin or like Metallica or like Pantera, but like I'll also go to like some alternative like rap and hip hop stuff like Death Grips that like nobody's ever heard of, but it gets me rowdy, so I love it.
Okay. Okay.
Strictly Eminem.
Okay. Makes sense. He's from Michigan. Okay. Again, my favorite answer coming from Kenny here. What's on your pregame mix?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Love it. Little
Yeah.
throwback there.
Yeah, they're my group.
Can
They're
you
my
tell
group.
everybody what you tried to get our goal song to be this year?
September. I thought we had it set in stone, and then all of a sudden it changed because Nick wanted it to change to something that was, I don't know, more fitting for hockey. But September, I mean, I feel like that's an unbelievable song to jam to after we score 5+ goals. It sounds pretty good, getting people to dance to that over and over again in my eyes. But maybe I guess I'm wrong.
How about this? I love this question. Fate of the world. Okay. You got to choose 5 players and a goalie to save the world. Who are you picking?
To save the
All
world?
time. All time.
I'm not going to answer conventionally because everybody's just going to be like Gretz, Crosby, and McDavid. So I'm going to go Oli Mata at center. Brian Bickle, whatever position he plays. Brandon Tanev. Oh, man. Tyler Myers, but like Buffalo Sabres, Tyler Myers. Or maybe Vancouver Tyler Myers. He's pretty brutal. But he's in the show, so I can't chirp him. I need one more. I'm drawing a blank here. Terry Ryan. And in goal, any of the Arizona Coyotes goalies in the past 5 years.
All right. There
That's
we
my
go.
Space Jam team.
Looks like we're all going to the Monstars. Marco, what you got?
I'm taking the Russian 5 with Marco Doronio in that.
With confidence. I like it. Okay, next question. How do you tape your stick? You go heel to toe, toe to heel? Any weird things going on?
It changes weekly, so like I honestly would rock no tape, but the way the ice is at the ice sheet, it kind of like sticks to my blade. So I usually have to rock like a sock and then just wax like the heck out of it, so I can just make sure that the snow isn't sticking. But yeah, nothing weird.
Heel to toe. I'm not really too picky with my stick.
Anybody got any weird stick tapes or tape jobs?
Looking right at him,
Which one?
Dimitri.
Timmy, you got a weird tape job? Just conserving the tape. Long season. Big Kenny's a big fan.
Big tape saver.
No, just saving the tape.
Save tape.
How about Scott? What's your least favorite chore around the house?
Definitely shoveling. I was doing a lot of shoveling in Minnesota before I came here, and it sucked. I did not like that.
Marco?
I don't like doing the dishes.
Yeah, I'm not a big dish guy either. Something about it. All right, you got to pick one: golf or fishing. Start with you, Marco.
Fishing.
Okay.
Golf, and you better be ready to be there for like 8 hours because I'm gonna take 10 strokes on every hole. I'm terrible.
Who's the funniest guy to chirp during practice?
Hawks.
Hawks.
Cameron Hawks.
Cameron Hawks.
100% Hawks.
Just too easy.
Yeah, for sure. Too easy.
How about you have a spirit animal?
Me?
Yeah,
Honey badger.
I like it.
I haven't thought about this for a while. Maybe like a bear, but like a very antisocial bear. But he'll hurt you if you come near him. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, or like Bogey.
Wait, sorry, what was the last part?
Bogey from what's that? You know what show I'm talking about with the bears? Yogi Bear, not
Yogi.
Bogey Bear.
Oh, okay, yeah, Yogi.
I was thinking about golf. I said Bogey. But yeah, Yogi Bear for sure.
Kenny knows some about bogeys, but they turn out to be birdies all the time, right? All the time, every time.
Got called out for that a month ago. Whenever Nick was on.
Well, we're going to have Nick next week. You want me to have some questions for him?
If him and I are up here, it's just going to be a stand-up comedy session, not whatever this is.
You should bring all the coaches on here. That'd be a great time. How about this? Scotty, we'll start with you. Last 10 seconds of the game, you're on a breakaway. What's your move?
Not what I did against NoCo. Definitely score.
Just something
But
else.
Probably like, I don't know. Like I'd probably try to like shoot 5-hole, and if it comes back to me, I'll put it in. But nothing crazy, or I'll mess it up.
Marco?
Come down the left side. Take the shot between the legs. Heel drag that. Suk bar down. Every time.
I can see it. Hey, Marco's going in the next shootout, no matter what, shooting first.
He's got some pretty good handles. I mean, I don't know if that's illegal or not. We could chuck him up there and throw him a curveball at this point.
Hey, Marco, if you're the goalie, someone's doing that to you, what do you do?
Throw punch.
Throw a punch. That's all you got.
Yeah.
Nothing else saving you. Who's funniest guy on the team?
You can go first, Marco.
Oh, I don't know. I like to say myself. I think I'm pretty funny, but gotta laugh at Demi sometimes. So
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of the guys bring some pretty funny stuff to the rink. Like I think Gio and Tucker definitely have some synergy. That's super funny just to see them interact. Yeah, Gio and Tucker are pretty funny guys.
How about which player is the hardest to compete against in practice?
I think Seth is pretty good in practice. I think Cade works so hard all the time. I think he, as like a goalie, gotta always be really ready for him.
Yeah, I mean Seth is super rangy, so it's like hard to deal with. And he's a big boy. Demi's super smart. But yeah, like Marco said, Cade's like always got something up his sleeve, so you got to be prepared. Especially playing D on him, like you don't want to take the minus. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. There's
Hey,
Cade.
we're talking about
Cade,
you.
Shout out. How about this? What's your best hockey memory?
I think my best hockey memory was when I had that opportunity to get called up to NTDP. I mean, I didn't play, but just sitting on the bus with those guys and dressing and warm-ups, and it was surreal. So definitely that.
Best hockey memory for me. Earlier this year when I debuted for Thief River, I ended up having a hat trick and an OT winner in a game. That was pretty cool. A lot of that's like an ice hockey memory, but a lot of my memories are in roller. Like I played with Foss a lot in roller actually, and we had some pretty good teams. Played this summer too. It's always a good time. Probably like my first trip though, going to the East Coast when I was 14. Actually, Foss is on that team too. Now that I think of it, but it was Bantams, and we went there, and I never experienced the East Coast or anything, and it was just awesome. Like getting to see like the difference between the West and East Coast, and getting to play out there was awesome.
Who's your favorite goalie to score on in practice?
I mean, Marco, you don't really show you don't really get too fed up or angry. I feel like you're pretty emotionally controlled, and like so is like Tino and Sava. So I don't know, probably Sava because I sit right next to him and I'll yerp him in the room about it. But yeah, probably Sava.
And Marco wanted me to ask this question to him too. Who's your favorite goalie to score on in practice?
I just score on all of them. One tease.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Doesn't matter who it is. All of them.
Well, who's your favorite player to stop in practice?
It's always fun stopping Cade, Demi, but I gotta go with Kenny for sure. He's had two shootouts against me. I'm 2 for 2, so I'm ready for whenever he wants another one.
Scott, if you were a goalie, who would be your favorite player to stop?
Definitely Fuss, because I'd chirp him right after, and he'd get rattled. Yeah, I don't know. If I chirped Dimmy after I stopped him, he'd probably start laughing.
Wouldn't really help your case.
Yeah, no. He'd start laughing, and then he'd come down and snipe me probably, so.
Kenny, who's your favorite goalie to score on in practice?
Well, if I say Marco, he's just going to say that I'm 0 for 2 on shootouts.
He's not
even
quite
though,
there yet, so.
Yeah. Even though one of my shootouts went wide and the other one I tried some miraculous move that should never work.
That's right. 2 of 2.
Who do I like to score on in practice?
Or who would you like to score on in practice?
Yeah, I don't shoot on the goalies a lot this year. I think Sava shows some pretty good reactions when you get under his skin. So does Tino. Tino basically broke his stick over the crossbar over maybe the last month or so. Maybe it was before break, but there's some pretty good animation between either of those two. So and Marco, I just put any of them in the net, I'll score on them.
Noted.
Except for the 2 shootouts.
That's right.
Tomorrow, we're going to have a little moment. We're going to figure out who's the king.
All right.
There we go. Well, we're pretty much here at the end, so if you have any of the last-minute questions, anything like that. No?
Come on, Demi, Seth. I need some questions. Cade.
Cade definitely
Cade have
wants
He's
to
questions?
thinking, he's thinking back there. Stella, you got one? All right.
Go ahead, Kate. What you got?
By the way, hey guys, sorry I'm late. Who's your favorite teammate to pick on?
Your teammate to pick on? I feel like I don't really pick on anybody, but it's got to be Demi for sure.
Yeah, I don't really pick on anybody, but it's funny to mess with Hawks because he takes everything so
Yeah.
literally.
What about you,
But,
Coach?
like,
Who's my favorite guy to pick on? That's a good question.
Remember, this is being recorded live.
Can I tell you when we go off the air?
Am I gonna?
I want to hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear it too.
Oh, this is
I'm
you
sure
guys are
everyone
putting me on
wants
the
to.
You
spot.
can say,
here.
who's your favorite player to go back and forth with?
We don't go back and forth on this team.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I do like chirping Bryce. I like giving it to Bryce pretty good. He's a good sport about it. He'll give it back when he knows the time's okay to give it back. And when he knows it's not, he'll walk away and take it like a champ. So I think that's probably a pretty good suggestion, Seth. I'll go with Bryce.
What about you, Steph?
It's got to be the tandem of Corey Mater and Jack Jones. Easily.
Easy.
Actually,
Easily.
I changed my answer to Corey. I love messing with Corey. I've been messing with him for like probably a year and a half now. It's honestly so funny. Like I'll chirp him and just be completely joking, like, no man, like you don't mean that. I'm like, dude, I'm just kidding, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I like messing with him a little bit.
You and Jake are pretty good chirpers too. When I go after you guys, so
Yeah, but everyone says I'm the worst chirper on the team, so
I feel like your comebacks with me are pretty good. Maybe they're just not good with those guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably it. I just work here, so
Do whatever you're doing. You scored 100 goals this year.
Well, as we kind of get to the end here, obviously, we want to thank you guys for coming out and always supporting us. We know we say it every week, but it really means a lot to us. It means a lot to these guys here and their families that have them away from home right now. So, guys, thanks for coming on to Coach's Corner. We always appreciate getting to know you guys a little bit more and your backgrounds and being able to show everybody else that. Demi's got his hand raised. Yes, sir. For okay. Okay. Microphone.
Who has the best sty?
I don't know. That new neck guard lowered it a little bit, I think. Got to pick one? I won't. No comment from me. He can tell you more on this one.
I mean, I had to wear a neck guard for like 3 months, so I got pretty used to it. But I mean, Dimmy and Seth rock the neck guard pretty good. Seth in the bub is like a different player. It's just like gross in the bub. Yeah, I don't really know who I'd say has the best sty for sure, but those two are pretty good. I really liked seeing. I saw a picture of Gio in a box cage. Looks so gritty. Like I would love to see Gio in a box cage again this year.
That'd be unreal. Kenny, any input?
Yeah, I probably would have chose Dimitri before he put the turtleneck on too. I think since you kind of you really ruined it with that, so I'll say Mater.
Oh, you can't feel him like that, Coach. you know how Corey's gonna be coming me. Coach said I had better style than me. She's always been chirping
It was
me
Dimitri,
about my style.
but Dimitri passed the torch off when he slapped on a black turtleneck.
It is Dimitri Plakanik.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
exactly right.
Well, my answer is definitely Coach Nick Dreyer. Dude's got some style. It's his Adidas. He's got too many of them. Big shoe guy. Kenny hates that answer. I knew it.
I think Soto's got some style. Soto for sure. He walked in one day. Unbelievable.
Plenty of style. Well, like we said, we're wrapping up here. We're towards the end. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you to John and Steinies, everybody here for what they do and having us every week. And thanks to Ogden X Media. We are going to post episode 7, 8, whichever one we're on. I'm going to post that when I get home. So that'll be out tonight. And then we'll post another one before their games this weekend. So look forward to those. We'll be back next Tuesday. I think Coach Soto is going to be on. I don't know who's going to be on with him yet, but we'll be back in a week. And then we'll see you guys then. So this Friday, we have Pueblo, Saturday, NoCo, Sunday, Pueblo. So thank you guys, and we'll see you this weekend.